Okay, so I'm here in one of the handicap stalls of the Eastern Housing Court. Obviously, as you just saw, today is Tuesday, July 30th. And I've been here since around 11:30 this morning, preparing for a hearing with the landlord in a few days. And I told the landlord this morning, verbally and in an email, that I had to be here at the court uh, for legal obligations due to their case, and could not be in the building all day today as they had asked me to be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. because they're walking around the building checking people's apartments for leaks. I asked to reschedule. I sent that in writing at around 11 a.m. today. And within about 30 to 45 minutes of me being here in this courthouse, the presence of the Greenville Group's paid psycho stalker, Jasmine Irizarry, began to become evident. Irizarry is criminally insane, and that's why the Greenville Group is using her to harass people they don't like, because Irizarry legally cannot be held liable for her actions. It's actually a smart move on the part of the Greenville Group because they can deny that they have anything to do with her, and if or when she gets caught, law enforcement can't really do anything because she's criminally insane. All you need to do to find out if she's criminally insane is to be in her presence for like 2 minutes. Unfortunately, I've been forced to be in Irizarry's presence for a minute or two several times over the last 10 years that she's been living or that she has been housed in the building where I've been living at 5 Union Ave. I moved in several years before Irizarry, and Irizarry was placed in the unit next to mine sometime in June or July of 2013, which is now 11 years. Mr. Oleg Aleseyev, the property manager, has repeatedly praised Irizarry's criminal abilities and hacking skills to me verbally, over the years. I mean, every time I've gone to him and said, hey, this person that's in 78 keeps doing this or she's doing that. He's like, oh, she's so good. She's so talented. She can get into anything. Another time he said, she can solve any problem. So that means that she's basically a paid fixer for the Greenville Group. And one of the things that she does, because she's a psycho, is follow people around physically and then just does the same exact stuff to them, regardless of location. So right now I was just trying to use the facilities quietly in this private and closed handicap stall. I've been in this courthouse now for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. There have been absolutely no evidence of any kind of the use of some type of DED, directed energy device. As I keep reporting, Irizarry has been using a directed energy device physically on my person since late 2017, early 2018. That's kind of when the use of directed energy devices seems to have burst onto the social media scene and onto the investigations scene. Like the media suddenly started investigating the use of directed energy devices, and 60 Minutes and other documentary outlets started putting out documentaries about the use of directed energy devices. They also started putting out documentaries about the use of little tiny surveillance dots that are literally the size of like the tip of a Sharpie pen, that you can kind of just stick anywhere and use. So, when you're using a public restroom, you have no idea if, anybody's been engaging in nefarious activities and, slapping little surveillance devices in the area around the toilet. That's entirely possible. You don't know who accesses this space. This is a public courthouse. Anybody can come in here off the street and just do whatever they want, any of the bathrooms. Nobody's going to check what they're doing or what they're using. And Irizarry, being Greenville's reported surveillance expert, seems to be fond of handicapped stalls in some of the more commonly used areas of Boston, including Back Bay Station, apparently this courthouse, and the bathroom of the Westin Hotel, Bar 10. I can tell you that because those are the three places where I've had to use the handicap stalls in those bathrooms. And within 30 seconds to 1 minute of sitting on the toilet, suddenly Irizarry started using her directed energy device to electronically assault me in each of those bathrooms over the years, not just over the last few weeks, but over the years. yeah, at least 4 years now. This has been happening in public spaces. At first, it was only happening in my apartment. That was the first place that she started using this type of device. But now it seems to be expanding outwards into literally public places. So that was happening just now, a few minutes ago, while I was trying to use that facility right there. So also within a few minutes of me entering this handicap stall and trying to use the facilities, Irizarry's use of a directed energy device not only happened while I was sitting on that toilet, and she only does it at the same exact key moment, regardless of what toilet I'm using. There's only one thing that I need to do while sitting on the toilet for her to suddenly start using that directed energy device, and it is so specific and so narrow that it is the same exact person doing this wherever I go. Not wherever I go, because it doesn't happen, when I'm in Europe, but it does happen in the Boston area and in my building for sure. And also when I'm visiting, for instance, my dad in Connecticut or my mom in California. Irizarry is a traveling paid psycho stalker, being sponsored by the Greenville Group, as I have been informed by several people who seem to know what the Greenville Group's nefarious activities comprise. And these people were not shy about telling me that Irizarry is a sponsored and, basically paid harasser. And the other weird thing is that seems to happen whenever I try to use water when Irizarry is in the vicinity. The water to this tap, which was perfectly fine at first. Yeah, now it is super gritty, super tacky, gritty. It feels like it's got sand in it or something. This is not due to the Boston water supply, folks. I can tell you, as a master's level research scientist who performed 18 years of continuous lab research between 1995 and 2012 as a paid professional research scientist, that when a substance such as water suddenly changes in consistency and feel and fluidity and sort of like the makeup of it, then it is being molecularly altered. Irizarry is able to molecularly alter the properties of tap water by applying some type of pressure to the water to change the molecular structure. And by pressure, I mean any type of external exertion. It doesn't mean that she's pushing the water. She is using some type of force to alter or denature the molecular structure of water as it comes out of taps. So she's not literally putting glue into this water, even though it's suddenly extremely tacky, almost like it has glue in it, but it's basically being curdled by her use of a microwave emitting EMF device. That's the same microwave emitting EMF device that she's been using to physically assault me while I use a toilet in various locations around Boston, but also at my family's homes. But she also is able to somehow alter the properties of water that come through certain pipes and certain taps in the area where I happen to be. So again, all you need to do to alter the physical properties of a substance, especially a liquid,